Chelsea weren't paying for our petrol or anything like that. They were feeding Chris. There was coffee and tea in the lounge. Sometimes I wasn't getting anything unless I went out, and Cobham itself was closed at sort of 5:30. So obviously wasn't going to go to the pub or anything like that. So quite often, you know, Jim and I eating at silly o'clock once we've come home and sorted Chris out, seeing where the other two are at, what needs to be done. So possibly not the healthiest lifestyle either. And M25, 30 minutes to Cobham on a good day, an accident, volume of traffic, you know, the home journey sometimes was taking us a lot of time. Once we got to know the other parents, that, you know, the goalkeeper was going at the same time, and the same, obviously relying, Jim's parents weren't around. Mine were living up in the northeast, so they're relying very much on friends to ferry the children to and from the other activities, a bit of help with Chris. So we're immensely grateful to our friends and that sort of network, but we had to sort of do that ourselves. You know, that was just chatting on the sidelines, calling in favours from friends locally.
Quite important, isn't it? And not always easy for some people to do. Like when you're quite sociable and you don't mind sort of making conversation and building those networks. And for some people that could be quite tricky if you know, if you're not as sociable. But I could definitely see how that support network is so important, isn't it? In that environment.
You have to have it, I think.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done it without. We just wouldn't have been able to do it without the backup that we had.
And we're seeing more and more, like, it takes a village to raise a young football player to get them, you know, to where they are. It's you need a lot of support. You need to, and I think as well, a part of the reason we started this was to celebrate the parent role, because you often hear the stories from the players or even from the manager's perspective of how things went, but you very rarely hear the stories and, you know, what parents have. We're people too. A lot of your life is put to the side to support this journey, which is fine. And, you know, you want to do it, but it can also raise challenges, right?
I think as well, Chris's journey has been a very successful one, but that is, as you said at the start, quite unusual. We were doing this regardless. It was what he wanted to do, being given this amazing opportunity. And we wanted to encourage him and do everything we could to make it happen, in the same way as our other children had activities that they pursued and maybe later on, you know, changed their mind about. But Chris never fails to thank us, to refer to us, to mention, because as an adult he looks back, and because it wasn't plain sailing from Chelsea to where he is now, and there was a couple of lows, he's very, very grateful that he's where he is, and he looks back and he knows that we helped. Yeah,
he does appreciate it a lot.
Yeah,
he tells us, you know, regular.
He tells everybody.
Yeah. Oh, good old. We love Chris.
No.
We love Chris. Appreciates his family. It's wonderful.
Yeah.